Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Friday Checkout. I'm your host, Brian Fish, and I am joined, as always, on Friday with my executive producer, Tyler Alexander. Tyler, how are you?
I'm good. It's late.
It's very late. It is midnight, and we'll get into that here in a few moments as to why it's midnight. But this week was a good week. I feel like for being a holiday week, I feel very accomplished. Very accomplished.
Yeah. Short week, but a lot done.
Short week, a lot done. We kicked off the week with Cody Adent from Vibrant Management. He joined us. Fantastic interview. And I have to go check. I promised him, and I'm going to do it. I need to go to Utah because, number one, I need to go see why he moved to Utah in the first place.
Yeah, Utah is beautiful too.
And I know that because I've driven through there like once before in my life, but I'm like, I need to go back. And then he's got this like e-bike business that he's starting up too. So
honestly, pretty sweet. I feel like too, because I had only spent like 2 days in Utah, just a kind of very similar situation to you, just driving through.
I was on my way to Aspen.
Okay, there you go.
So,
sweet. But yeah, it's gorgeous out there too. I was in there. I was out there during like the summer season though, so I'd be interested in checking out during the winter season, kind of see the contrast between the two.
I'm actually, as much as I am interested in his virtual GM program, I'm actually very intrigued by this e-bike situation because I've never been on an e-bike. Yeah. I feel like I've been almost mowed down multiple times in New York or London
100%.
or Amsterdam by an e-bike, but I've never actually been on one myself. So
they're insane in the city.
Well, they drive them as if they are regular cars.
Yeah,
they don't even drive
they're all
them.
motorized too.
Yeah,
they all go like 20 miles an hour too, which is pretty quick. And obviously, they don't have a requirement for helmets, so it's pretty intense.
And I think it's cheating. Like you get to go up a hill with a motor. No. But no, I would love to check that out. But he's a great guy. I met him through BITAC events multiple times. And I feel like it's the only place I ever see him. So it was actually very nice that we had him on to talk about his company and, about his experience and, what he's been working on. So yeah, he's just a great guy. And the one thing that I loved is, we do those quick fire questions at the end and we roll him on social media. And I love the one today because I asked him about the 3 people he'd like to go to dinner with.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Dead or alive. And I think he said Gordon Ramsay, and then he said Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan and Jesus.
And Jesus.
Yeah.
And, and I love the reasoning. He could turn the water into wine. Of course, I would love all the water to be turned into Diet Coke because I drink Diet Coke like water. I've got Jesus on speed dial. I'll try my hand. We'll see what happens.
Maybe a next guest.
No. So we mentioned at the top of this that it is literally midnight. It's literally 12 a.m. on the day that you're all listening to this. Hopefully.
I got some coffee right here.
You got coffee. I've got my Diet Coke.
Coffee.
You and I have had an insane day. Like I don't exactly know how, I feel like we accomplished a lot this week, but I also feel like I did like 3 work days today all in one day.
Yeah, it did feel like 3 separate days too. We were all over the city today. So
all over the city. We went, as far as 45th Street, I think.
We went up to 45th. We were down by Battery Park. We are out in Brooklyn in multiple areas.
I got to see the skyline from Brooklyn for the first time.
Yeah. So
what's exciting about that? And I didn't say this when we were over there because number one, you held me out hostage in the rain. I actually had a little bit of a moment when I was looking at it because I'm like, so Will and Grace was one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
Still is. And I have seen that opening credits thing. So, and I guess it's on the closing too, but I've seen that shot so many times because of that show.
Yeah.
And it was so surreal to be standing right there where it's shot. And I'm thinking to myself, why does no one come over to this side to check this out?
So much better. It's so much better. Once you come to the Brooklyn side, you tend not to go back. So
yeah, I could definitely tell the vibe of the people were different. And then I will give a shout out to the Van Leeuwens at the pier that we were at.
Yeah.
As we were getting
ready
to
hit the ferry, which was
we did
nice.
Hit the ferry with the ice cream from Van Leeuwens.
Yeah. It's a nice transition sometimes to hit the ferry instead of, being stuck on the train again.
Right.
So, and it's usually much quicker.
I think I might venture over to your side of the river at some point again, because like I said at Van Leeuwens, when they said that they were out of waffle bowls and I was shocked. I was expecting to have to get a waffle cone or just a regular bowl. And then she goes, "We're going to make one for you." And I told her, "No, well, at Rockefeller Center, they've never offered to make
they care a little bit more over on Brooklyn side."
So I loved that. But no, it was a crazy day. We and and then obviously we also did a little bit of footage around the 9/11 memorial. I always love it because you and I have a thing when we're out filming content. We love a good security guard. We have
security guard,
so
I think security guards love us more. So
I know. I have to get now. I will give you props today. You negotiated so well. And
I think we've just been through this enough to,
that we know how to deal with it.
We kind of know what to say now and kind of to work them into an angles where they really can't say anything.
If they find the content that we were taking at that moment, God bless them, because they did some real hunting. So do you follow, well, actually, I shouldn't even ask this question because I know that the answer is yes. Do you follow Sarah Dandashi on Instagram?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see one of her latest clips from, I think it was from Good Morning Hospitality, may not have been from Good Morning Hospitality, may have been from something else. But she was talking about, I think she was talking about things that maybe annoy her or or difficult situations that happen when you're traveling. And the timing could not have been better. And we need to discuss this because you and I are getting ready to get on a flight on Saturday for, I think it's 6.5 or 7 hours from here to Dublin. I had a 6-hour flight to New York from Phoenix where I experienced this problem, and I better not have this issue on my way to Dublin because if I do, I feel like I'm cursed. But she was saying that what she didn't like was sometimes she's unlucky enough to get put in the middle seat. Now, thank God I was not in the middle seat, but we'll all see how this works in reverse. And, there'll be 2 guys on each side of her, and then they're doing this thing called man spreading, where they basically spread their legs and their entire bodies around so that they're protruding into the middle seat area. I had the exact, I felt for her at that moment when I saw it, and I saw this before I got on the plane. Of course, I get on the plane yesterday. Of course, I am at a window seat.
You were in the exact situation.
I'm in the exact situation, but this time it's the man in the middle. Look, I'm not going to body shame anybody or say anything about anyone's size because trust me, there is video and photo evidence. I've been every size known to man in the last decade. However, you're in the seat. I feel like your real estate is right there in the middle. That you have 100%. You have chosen not to pay for the aisle or the window. And you have sat in the middle seat. And now you are putting your arms and your legs as he should have just done the big X thing, basically a jumping jack in a seat. I felt like a frickin' pretzel when I landed at Newark.
See, I have this unspoken rule that I don't know if this is a common thing or if it's just internal, but I think everyone should get, if you're on, for example, if you have the window on the right and the aisles on the left side, everyone should just have the arm to the left. And that just establishes a rule. If you want to lean, you got one side to lean. Yeah. And then if it's vice versa. So if the window's on the left side, everyone can lean to the right a little bit. But it just kind of, I feel like if we just establish this as a society, then everyone will be, there's a golden rule. Just you get your one arm rest, you get your leg space within your seat, and that's it. It's insane with how hard it is sometimes to fight for your space on an airplane. And you want to be polite because you got to spend some time with these people. But at the same time, you're wondering why they're not being polite too. It's crazy.
This is my question. I'm thinking to myself, he could clearly tell that I'm in a position where if there was a balcony that I could have opened the door and spread onto, I would have, because I could barely move around. I think also the Wi-Fi wasn't working very well on the flight.
Sure, yeah. So it's just a bunch of catalyst events going on.
Yeah, which made me which irritated me even more because I also was trying to get some work done, but I couldn't because everything's in the cloud these days. And then when you can't connect to the cloud, what are you supposed to do? I just was thinking to myself, if this happens this weekend on that international leg of this trip,
anything but this one last little bit.
I'm gonna hope and pray that we don't have it. I do agree with you. I think that a society norm should be set. Maybe you get the left. I like the left arm rest in this situation because this means that if I book the window seat, I technically do get both arm rests at that point, which I could do a whole other hour long rant about people that don't book seats on a plane. I get that they charge you if you have no status, but that's the reality of the market today. But if you end up in a seat that you didn't pay for, which a lot of times it is the middle seat because you didn't pick a seat, you didn't pay for a seat, and you've been randomly selected to be placed in that seat. In the like society, like tier of status on the plane, I feel like you fall towards the bottom. Whereas, you know, I have flown many hours to have the status that I have, many miles.
Yeah.
And I think I deserve a little peace in my life. But I did relate with Sarah. I was like, what were the odds that she would have just put this out? And then I have...
She like made some weird thing of manifesting that like right before that flight. Yeah.
It's crazy. It was actually crazy to me. And so, which was nuts. And then the other thing I saw, this was actually, like last night when I was like, you know how you like doom scroll on like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok before you go to sleep?
It's like
you're not supposed to do.
Doing it it's like a horrible habit I have before bed too.
Right. Like it's horrible. You're not supposed to do it. But, you know, I did do this last night, and I did see they had this guy that was doing a flight attendant hack, and he like got himself into the seat, and then he put his feet up, like kind of in like I don't even know what the position would be. So he's put his like knees against his chest basically while he was sitting in the seat. And then he took the seat belt and put it around his ankles.
Yeah.
Because then it holds your feet in place, and then you can sleep against your like knees.
Oh, what? That's crazy.
I know. I got to find.
I don't know if I would be comfortable. Like, I don't know. I got bad knees, and like I've had ACL surgery in the past, so it's like I don't know if necessarily my legs will cooperate as much as I would like them to. But I guess
we have to get a medic when we land in Dublin.
Oh my God! Yeah, my right leg has lost circulation, or
you have to be carried off the plane. Now, wouldn't that be a story?
Yeah. Oh my God. The worst thing for me is I don't do this when I sleep like in a comfortable position, but when I'm sleeping. Like for example, on an airplane, especially in the middle seat, like I'm trying to be conscious about like myself around me. And for some reason, I guess the stress and anxiety of that triggers me to have dreams that I fall. And I end up there was one flight.
Are you one of those that fall off the bed at home?
No. But I pretend I'm like, it's like a flinch. It's like
yes.
And then but like obviously like if someone next to me, if I'm watching a movie and hanging out and then someone else next to me is like, like it freaks out. I have knocked a drink off some guy's tray before, and it's awful. It's honestly it's like I don't know how I can apologize. I'm like, I didn't do this on purpose, but like,
that is when you lie, Tyler, and you say, I have a medical condition. Like I have Tourette's.
I honestly,
now you will have not done anything else the rest of the
I
flight,
hope I just don't have to be in this situation again. But
no, it's been an interesting week. I think I'm looking forward to our trip across the pond. I think it'll be very good.
First time in a while too.
First time in a while.
Actually, not really. But technically across the pond, going out, to the UK region. I guess. But
that's true, because I just you know what? I was sitting to myself thinking, where the hell have we gone? You're right. We just got back from Greece.
It seems like forever ago.
I'm telling you, August. So we were on that trip on August 1st. Obviously, September 1st, this just happened.
I think I've aged like 3 years since then.
Right? It feels like it was forever ago.
Yeah.
No, this will be a good little trip to get over there. The weather will be nice and cool, which I like. We'll be in Belfast for St. Agnes' Choral Society is doing Come From Away, and it's timed properly right in time for September 11th. It's the 24th anniversary of the attacks on 9/11, and we, through Reliance Hospitality, we're one of the sponsors for the show. This is our second time sponsoring for them, and I got to see the opening number from this show. They actually performed at their concert that they had called The Magic of the Musicals that they did back in May, and I was there as a guest, and it was amazing. So I know that we're in for a real treat this next week, and it'll be amazing. So it'll be great to be there. We'll see. I want to. And maybe it's not the right thing to do, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I want to play a little bit of a game just to see how many Americans are at the show. Just because it is.
We could be the only two. Who knows?
We could be the only two. And then you and I will have to be the best that America has sent to Belfast. So
honestly, yeah, I think we're pretty decent.
I feel like, they're doing well. So, but no, we love them. The Choral Society is fantastic, and they're always very welcoming to us. Obviously, I do love to get my food at Pret. I love a good roast chicken. You'll probably have to split the G or something on the Guinness.
Oh, I'm a lot of Guinness in my future. I'm kind of worried because when we were there last year, it was a little too much, honestly.
Too much Guinness?
I had to hit the gym pretty hard in January to work all that off.
No, it's going to be great to be there. Especially this time of the year, it's beautiful over there. I was there last, it would have been October, I think, maybe end of September. So that would have been my first time in Belfast.
That's right when you started to go over that way, right?
Correct.
And then we ended up there a bunch for the remainder of the year.
But the fall's beautiful over there. It's absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
So it'll be great for us to be there. And Nando's. I forgot about Nando's.
Ooh, nice. That's a good one.
So we'll definitely be going to Nando's. There's so many other places too that we actually should go check out, but I only have this short list of places.
We had a few good local spots around there. I mean, I don't know if they're big local
Indian
spots.
Restaurant that you found the last time at Christmas.
Oh yeah, that was
very
honestly
good.
That was a great place.
That was a very good place. There are still tickets available for Come From Away. It's playing. They're performing it at the Lyric in Belfast. So if you are listening to this from the UK or from Northern Ireland, or even if you're in the Republic of Ireland, if you're on the island of Ireland, you really have no excuse. You need to go see the show. It does play. It actually starts tonight through the 13th of September. So if you go to the Lyrics website, you can get tickets there. And if you do, we will be seeing you at some point next week. We may or may not be at the exit, ready and waiting to hear about your feedback from the show. You never know.
Never know.
Never know who you might run into.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, Tyler, I think that it's about bedtime for us.
Yeah, it's just about.
We
got a busy day tomorrow too. So
very busy day tomorrow. We have another very busy day again on Saturday before we leave. And then we get to go back to our favorite place called Newark on Saturday.
Oh my God.
And then
I've seen the inside of the airport too much lately.
I know. You have to, okay, last 60 seconds of this, you have to tell everybody, what did the Uber driver say to you when you got into the Uber to head to Newark to go help me get the case?
So, long story short, Bryan had a ton of equipment that he was bringing through that is just physically not possible for one person to carry. So he had a little assistance getting the equipment to the airport. But when he was arriving
I had no assistance. No. I made multiple trips from the parking garage.
Physically is possible. Just a very difficult journey, yeah. But once he arrived in Newark, it wasn't as simple as taking the stuff from his car to the luggage.
Yeah. I didn't think the taxi driver would find it funny to be like, "Hey, you come inside?"
Yeah. But so I called an Uber from Brooklyn, which it's honestly quite a long Uber. If for most people, that's pretty long Uber. But I get in the car and the guy was just really confused because halfway through he was like, "Hey, you're going to the airport, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have no luggage whatsoever. I just have my hydrant flask." And I'm just and I wear shorts and a t-shirt, pretty casual clothing. And he's like, "Okay." So I get there. He's like, "What? Are you flying?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just picking someone up." He's like, "Are we picking someone up?" And I'm like, "No, just me." And he was just so confused. And then we started darting in there and I'm like, no, we're going to the arrivals. He's like, "So I'm just dropping you off at the arrivals." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You just spent $100 to come hang out at the arrivals area." I'm like, "Well, long story short, I need to help my boss." I'm like, "I need to help him out a little bit. He's got a ton of stuff." And he just still left. He was just like, "I guess I don't really understand what's going on here," but it was hilarious.
I'm sure he was so confused. He's like, "Why are you?" He probably thought you were one of those weirdos that go to hang out at the airport.
Well, I did mess with him. I kind of messed with him a little bit. He was like, "You don't have any luggage or anything?" I'm like, "Oh man!" I freaked out a little bit. I'm like, "Oh, we gotta start." And he was like, oh no, like, and then I realized he was like serious about turning around. I'm like, oh no, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to help his buddy out, basically.
Now, this has happened to you though before, where you've been in an Uber and like you've forgotten something.
Now,
so,
yeah, that's
like,
true.
you forgot
going to London last year.
Yeah.
We literally got to JFK, and I was like, I forgot my passport. Gave the guy 100. He zoomed. The guy was going like 75 miles an hour, like 35 mile an hour streets. Like, I'm surprised I'm alive, but hey, I made it.
And you were here to tell the story.
Yeah.
And to help me with my massive body boxes at
100%.
At Newark. So awesome. Well, Tyler, it's been fantastic seeing you for the last 24 hours straight.
I know, right?
And we had some Italian food for dinner. I'm, for whatever reason right now in the middle of the night, I am craving chicken wings.
Yeah,
like,
I got the chicken
ice cold Diet Coke and some buffalo wings right now, extra crispy, really sauced. Sounds amazing to me. So we'll see if I stay up to work a little bit. Maybe I'll order some for delivery. But we will be back on Tuesday with another episode of The Check-In with Bryan. It is a mystery guest this time, so we're looking forward to unveiling that mystery. And then we, of course, will be back next Friday for our next Friday checkout edition, which will be recorded while we're overseas in Belfast. So if you did not check out Cody Adent's interview this week with me on the Tuesday episode, be sure to go to YouTube if you would like to watch it. I've been joking lately, definitely go to YouTube because you can obviously see us because we look great. But you can see us on YouTube, or you can definitely just check out the audio feed on any of the platforms where you get your podcasts. So yeah. Well, I need to go to sleep or order chicken wings. Those are the two decisions I need to make. And we will see everybody next week. And we hope everybody has a great weekend.
All right. See you guys.
This episode of the Friday Checkout is a production of RH Media Productions. Hosted by Brian Fish. Executive producer Tyler Alexander. Marketing support provided by Sunny Tembler. Thanks for checking out with us. Be sure to follow The Check-In with Bryan wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss our next episode coming next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Reliance Hospitality Global Incorporated or any of its affiliates, partners, or subsidiaries. All content is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be interpreted as professional or legal advice.